Guys, this is Mr. Josh CJ, and this is your driver ratings and team ratings for the Austrian Grand Prix. So right, in this video, we mark all 10 drivers and all teams for their performances over the weekend. It was an action-packed Grand Prix with Stewards decisions. Yeah, so let's get on to it. In the last video, I started off with Red Bull. Now, it's clearly the best team at the moment. I'm going to start off with them again. So, let's get to it then. Red Bull Racing, Max Verstappen, 10 out of 10. P1 in qualifying, P1 in a race. For a second weekend in a row, absolutely dominated the Grand Prix. And a perfect Grand Slam as well. Got the fastest lap of the race. Perfect weekend by Max Verstappen. He is such a talent. And on the podium, as I said in my race review, I'm getting so used to hearing the Dutch and Austrian national anthem together. Yeah, perfect weekend for Max. Absolutely top class stuff by the Dutch driver. And the fans there, absolutely amazing. Just think what they're going to be like when we get to Zandvoort. The atmosphere there is going to be absolutely electric. Sergio Perez, 7 out of 10. Yep, P3 in qualifying, dropped down to P10 in the race due to that incident with Lando Norris. But good recovery drive by Sergio Perez, absolutely doing what Red Bull need him to do, and he's already guaranteed himself a seat for 2022. Yep, doing the things what Gasly and Albon couldn't do. So, yep, good bit of driving there by Perez. Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, 6 out of 10. P4 in qualifying, P4 in the race. Struggled in qualifying, his Mercedes had no pace, and then in the race he damaged his flooring, so performance was affected. Told to move over for Bottas, and then obviously got overtaken by Norris as well, and more points lost for the defending world champion. So Silverstone is going to be a massive weekend for Lewis Hamilton. He desperately needs to bounce back. He really does. Otherwise, if Max Verstappen wins at Silverstone, to me, that's championship over. But if Mercedes get 1 and 2 in Silverstone with their upgrades, this championship fight is well and truly alive. So Silverstone will be massive for the Silver Arrows and for Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas, 8 out of 10. P5 in qualifying, P2 in a race, beat Lewis Hamilton fair and square all weekend. So we wait to find out who will be Lewis Hamilton's teammate in 2022, whether it be Valtteri Bottas or George Russell. I said all on who I would put in, but what are Mercedes going to decide? But fair play to Bottas, beat Lewis Hamilton all weekend. McLaren, Lando Norris, 10 out of 10. P2 in qualifying, P3 in a race. Could have easily been P2 in a race. Lando Norris was very unhappy, but with the steward's decision to penalise him with the incident with Perez. But P3, fantastic result still, but he desperately wanted P2. But that just shows Lando Norris is a true racer, typical racing driver, wanting the highest positions as possible, but I admire them for that, I really do. Daniel Ricciardo, 7 out of 10, from nearly said that wrong, from 0 to hero for Daniel Ricciardo, because terrible in qualifying, but good recovery driving in the race, so yeah, fair 7 out of 10 for Daniel Ricciardo. Much better weekend after the Styrian Grand Prix. In the Styrian Grand Prix is absolutely dreadful. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, 7 out of 10. I think it was P12 in qualifying, and then got some decent points in the race. Of course, very angry with Sergio Perez, Leclerc thought twice that Perez forced him off the track, so the Monaco driver absolutely furious with Sergio Perez. Carlos Sainz is 7 out of 10. P11 in qualifying and P6 in the race. Some great points there for Carlos Sainz. Made his strategy work and is definitely now getting to grips with the Ferrari car, which is absolutely fantastic news because he's a good driver from McLaren, so it's good to see he's getting used to the Ferrari. Alpine, Fernando Alonso, 8 out of 10. P14 in qualifying, but obviously got impeded badly by Sebastian Vettel, but then P10 in the race had some epic battles with George Russell. Fernando Alonso, the driver who he has a lot of respect for, George Russell, at Monaco, they swapped helmets with each other, and that was an epic battle near the end of the race. Alonso got a point. Unfortunately for George Russell, his weight goes on. Esteban Ocon, 0. Absolute 0 for Esteban Ocon. Ever since he signed that new contract extension, he is in absolutely horseshit. I don't know what's going on with Esteban Ocon. Got eliminated in Q1 and then got sandwiched between Antonio Giovinazzi, then obviously retired from the race. Ocon recently been absolutely terrible, and he's got to up his game. He really has. He needs to get back on track. Esteban Ocon. AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly, 7 out of 10. Again, a really decent job by Pierre Gasly. Doing his job, and always seems to be consistent, scoring in the points. So, yeah, another great weekend for Pierre Gasly. Actually got outperformed a couple of times, though, by Yuki Tsunoda. But we'll now get on to Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda. Now, first of all, for his 2 slam dunk penalties, I was going to go for 0, but as he did have quite a competitive weekend, I'll probably go for 5 out of 10. But you have to mark him down for them 2 silly penalties. He made the same mistake twice, crossing the white line twice. Yeah, shocking there by Yuki Tsunoda. Rookie mistake. If you did it in F3, then that's not so bad. But to do it in F1 twice, absolutely embarrassing. And it's something he's got to work on. But to be fair, this weekend he was quite competitive. So I think 5 is a very generous score. Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel, 5 out of 10. A slam dunk penalty for impeding Fernando Alonso. 100% a penalty all day long. Because Alonso's qualifying was ruined. And then in the race, Vettel, he was doing okay. And then obviously got taken out by Kimi Raikkonen. So, yeah, 5 out of 10. Lance Stroll, 5 out of 10. Decent in qualifying, but then outside of the points in the race. So, yep, 5 out of 10, a generous score. Alfa Romeo, Kimi Raikkonen. Now, I don't know what's going on really, Kimi Raikkonen. He is like a Sunday man, but does bad in qualifying. But for them instances, like what he did to Sebastian Vettel that near the end of the race, very clumsy. So I'm just going to get out and say it, 0. To me, it has to be a 0. Like I said, race pace was good, but that incident near the end of the race when he crashed into Sebastian Vettel, he's like, good friend, but then has a poor qualifying. You have to get a 0, I'm sorry. So yeah, Kimi Raikkonen 0. Antonio Giovinazzi, 5 out of 10. Now, I'm marking him down. He was good in qualifying, P15 in qualifying, but, you know, in the race, just terrible, you know, so that's why you got to mark Antonio Giovinazzi down. Haas. Nikita Mazepin, 0. I mean, it has to be 0, doesn't it? He held up Lewis Hamilton in FP1 and other drivers as well, and then got dominated by Mick Schumacher all weekend. Totally out of his depth, Nikita Mazepin. Well and truly is out of his depth. I'm sorry, not good enough. Simply not good enough for F1. I know he's driving a horse-shit car, but to me, just well and truly, yeah, out of his depth. Mick Schumacher, 5 out of 10. Solid weekend for Mick again. Beat Mazepin all weekend. Mick Schumacher doing everything he can in that awful Haas car. So got to mar him for that. Williams, George Russell, 10 out of 10. P9 in qualifying, got promoted to P8 in the race because of the penalties. Yeah, now George Russell, the thing is with George Russell, you know, he is so tantalisingly close to that point, but, you know, got beaten by Fernando Alonso. Reported issues going to the grids, but thankfully it wasn't too serious. But, you know, for George Russell, it will come. He just needs to be patient and that points will come. But what a solid weekend. 10 out of 10. Got to be. So that is the driver ratings. Team ratings. Red Bull, 10 out of 10. Again, destroyed the opposition all weekends for his second weekend running. Max Verstappen, total domination. Sergio Perez, good recovery drive. Mercedes, 5 out of 10. Really a poor qualifying, but decent points to the team in the race, you know, finishing P2 and P4. So that is a positive. But, you know, you've got to mark them down for that poor qualifying. Their worst dry qualifying since Singapore 2017. McLaren, 8 out of 10. Really solid points to the team. Daniel Ricciardo scoring points. And also Lando Norris getting that podium. Very good. Ferrari, 7 out of 10. Both drivers in the points. So solid weekend for them. Alpine, 5 out of 10. Got to mark them down. But Esteban Ocon's poor showing. But Fernando Alonso getting the points is really good for the team. AlphaTauri, 6 out of 10. Decent for them. Decent for Gasly. But Yuki Tsunoda getting penalised twice. That's not so good. Aston Martin, 5 out of 10. Average in that team, really. With Sebastian Vettel's penalty. Yeah. Slam dunk penalty, that. Alfa Romeo, 5 out of 10. Average in them. Haas, 4 out of 10. Really usual for them. And Williams. Oh wait, I missed out on Nicholas Latifi, didn't I, in the driver ratings? Just get to Nicholas Latifi second. 1 out of 10, you know, absolutely dreadful. And again, looks out of his step. So, yep. Williams in their team ratings, 7 out of 10. I mean, for George Russell's performance, that was absolutely outstanding. But there you have it. Driver ratings done. Team ratings done for the Austrian Grand Prix. We move on to Silverstone next. We got a week's rest now, and then afterwards it's Silverstone. A full crowd capacity, and Mercedes bringing upgrades. Hopefully, Mercedes are back in business and Lewis Hamilton can get back on track again. Comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. I love doing these driver ratings and team rating videos because, you know, and I love listening to MUFC Racers. He also does his driver ratings and gives his scores, which I like hearing. And I do mine. Sometimes we get exactly the same, or sometimes we do different. These are what videos are all about. Opinion. Like, first goal, I was going to give Yuki Tsunoda a 0, and one of my subscribers said, that's very harsh, and I had time to think about it and think, yeah, 0 would have been harsh, so, yeah, I mean, this is what these videos are about, personal opinions, and I welcome it on my channel, I really do. I am an interactive channel. You guys comment on my videos, I have time to reply back to you. So yeah, comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. And the support recently has been amazing. All you guys' comments, I can't thank you enough. Bye bye.